we've got a busy show here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Is there a sleeper round one target emerging for the Bears? We're going to get into that here in just a little bit. Also, could Chicago trade down for Jackson Powers-Johnson? He's made a top 30 visit at Halas Hall, and not exactly Bears related, but potentially it could impact Chicago with their second first-round pick. A big Jaden Daniels rumor has surfaced. Lots to dive into here on today's episode of Bears Now by Chat Sports. Before we get into all of it, Bears fans, if you're just ready for the NFL draft to get here, it's fun talking about the rumors and the buzz, but I'm ready for draft night. If you're with me, if you're ready for it, hit the like button, smash that like button on today's video, and let's get it popping. All right, JC Latham coming in tonight. Will be at Halas Hall tomorrow as well for a top 30 visit. And is he that potential sleeper target in round one? A guy we have not talked a ton about on this channel, but is certainly a polarizing prospect in the first round. Could he be in play at 9? Could he be a trade down target? I think he's one of the biggest wild cards in the first round. I would say the biggest wild cards in this draft are J.J. McCarthy, J.C. Latham, and maybe a couple others. Adonai Mitchell I would throw into that mix. I think J.C. Latham is a fascinating prospect because you look at his measurables and you're like, whoa, 6'6", 342, 35 and an eighth inch arm length, hand size of 11 inches. Caleb Williams has above average hands, like pretty big hands for a quarterback. They're 9 3/4. Olu Fashanu's hands are small, but still, he's an NFL offensive lineman. They're 8.5 inches. 8.5. Latham's are 11. I mean, that's like Shaquille O'Neal almost. I mean, he has absolutely massive hands. Now, he didn't do any pro day or combine testing. Kind of took the Marvin Harrison Jr. route in that regard. But this guy has incredible traits. The physicality is off the charts. He moves well for his size. It's fascinating. He is a fascinating player, and it wouldn't shock me if Ryan Poles, Chris Morgan, and company liked what he brought to the table. The question is where does he play? If you bring him in, does he play right tackle where he played at Bama? If so, are you flipping Darnell right to the left side? Does he play guard? He's played some guard in college, and a lot of people think he might be a better guard in the NFL. Can he play left tackle and be that upgrade over Braxton Jones that has been a potential discussion point for the Bears as an option with their second first-round pick? The way I rank these offensive tackle prospects, and there's pros and cons to all of them, and I'm kind of tying it Bear-centric as well. Joe Alt, A, he's a left tackle. B, I thought he had the best tape on film this year. I like him as the top guy. Talise Fuaga, number 2. The only question with him is, can he play left tackle, or are you comfortable moving Darnell right to left tackle? I thought his tape was very close to Alt's this year. Olu Fashanu at Penn State. I thought he had a good year. I didn't think he had a fantastic year, but he's a 3-year left tackle, so he's got that. J.C. Latham, who you could argue had better film than Fashanu, but can he play left tackle? Some think he can. And then Troy Fountain, guard tackle, kind of like Latham. He can play guard or tackle as well. There's other guys, too. This offensive tackle class is absolutely juiced. I mean, it is. You've got Amarius Mims. Some think Graham Barton can stick at tackle. The kid out of Duke. I think he'll play inside in the NFL. But, Patrick Paul. You got Jordan Morgan out of Arizona. The kid out of Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton. I mean, there's 10 or 12 tackles in this draft that have a chance to be really, really good. I would not be shocked if the Bears ended up with one of them, especially in a trade-down scenario. And maybe J.C. Latham's that guy. Maybe he's a sleeper round one target that we need to consider more for the Chicago Bears. Would you take J.C. Latham at number 9? Type Y for yes, time in for no. I'll add this as well. Josh Lucas, former player personnel director for the Bears, hopped on Hogan Johns. Go check this out. He's got Latham as his number 1 tackle in this draft, and that's what's interesting. Where does he fall here? Is he OT1? Some people have him that high. I would be shocked, but some people have him that high. Some don't think he's a top 5 tackle. Some think he's better as a guard. I think number 9 pick for me is a little rich. I think in a trade down scenario, I would like him, but man, you can't discount his physical traits. His ceiling is absolutely massive, and the ability to play multiple positions is certainly enticing as well. Let's go from one offensive lineman to another here. Jackson Powers-Johnson. takes his Bears top 30 visit as well. He was at Halas Hall yesterday during the eclipse. You'll love to see that. And how about the orange polo? Nice touch for the kid as he was at Halas Hall yesterday. Also, we've talked about JPJ a little bit, definitely more than JC Latham. And again, you don't have that long-term center. Coleman Shelton, one-year deal. Ryan Bates, limited playing time at center. He's been kind of a starter at times, backup at times at guard and center. PowersJohnson can play both, by the way. If you like him as a guard, he can play guard. If you like him as a center, he can play center. I think he's the best interior guy in this draft. Maybe Graham Barton is in that discussion. It's definitely those two. Fatanu, if you want to include him as interior guy, but I would try him first at tackle. Jackson PowersJohnson, is a very, very good prospect. And coming up, we're going to hear from him as we caught up with him at the NFL Combine at his press conference. And he is intrigued by playing with Caleb Williams as well. But before we get to that, we got to tell you guys first about our sponsor on today's show. That is LinkedIn Jobs. Listen, if you are a small business looking to expand your company, LinkedIn Jobs is the place for you because they're going to help you find quality professionals in a timely manner. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to get you interviewing the right professionals for your team faster and for free. They're not just another job board at LinkedIn. They have a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all of that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. They constantly are finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process easier and quicker for you. 2.5 million small businesses and counting are using LinkedIn for hiring. I know us at Chat Sports have done it for the last several years. That's helped us grow from 6 to over 25 employees in the last 4 years. So post your job at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That is linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Get the right people. Otherwise, it's going to be tough to last as a small business. LinkedIn Jobs going to help you do just that. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. All right, let's get back to Jackson PowersJohnson. We got to sit with him at his podium at the NFL Combine, and he was asked about the possibility of teaming up with Caleb Williams in Chicago.
Of course, Caleb's an elite quarterback, elite guy. I met him in recruiting, got to play against him when he was at Oklahoma and USC. Elite competitor, elite quarterback. Be humbled to play with him.
Obviously, both those guys playing in the Pac-12, they've played against each other, saying he met him prior at a camp as well. Listen, it'd be a fun partnership to build, right? Quarterback and center. Now, is center a top need? Is it someone you take at 9? No, I think it would be a pretty significant trade back, but I would still be open to it. I'm definitely not closed off to the idea of Jackson PowersJohnson. That's the beauty of where the Bears are in the draft. There's a million different ways they could go. They could trade up if they want for Marvin Harrison Jr., depending on how things go. They could take BPA at 9. Hopefully Rome Odunze is still there. They could trade down a few spots for an edge or an offensive tackle. They could trade down multiple times, get a Jackson PowersJohnson. We'll see how this goes, but they're going to have options. Signing Keenan Allen gave them that versatility because it's not wide receiver or bust. That's the preferred outcome for me still, but they can still go in a different direction if they want to or if the board determines that they should. Should the Bears trade down for Jackson PowersJohnson? Type T for trade or D for don't. Get your votes in the comment section down below. All right, I just wanted to discuss this here as obviously the NFL draft is a couple of weeks away, and we all know that Caleb Williams is going to be the Bears pick at number 1, but everyone wants to know, what is Washington doing at 2? What's New England doing at 3? Well, a big rumor out there has been, could Jaden Daniels not want to go to Washington? There's been buzz that Washington wants Daniels at 2. All the mock drafts, Schefter, Brer, Cowherd the other day, they're going to take Daniels at 2. But what if he doesn't want Washington? Evan Silva, who writes started his own company, covers the NFL, he did a mock draft recently, and he wrote this up in it, which is interesting. He had Jayden Daniels to New England at 3. He said, Daniels is rumored to be intent on playing for New England after Daniels' meetings with Washington didn't go as smoothly. That is very interesting because, again, all the chatter has been that the heavy favorite to go 2 is Jaden Daniels, and I think it really just goes to show that we're in for a wild ride on draft night. Caleb's going to go 1, but after that, things could get very wild. What does Washington do at 2? What if they shock us and take J.J. McCarthy? What does New England do at 3? Could they trade down? Is Arizona going to trade down for a potential 4th quarterback? Are the Chargers going to be a team that trades down for that 4th quarterback if there's one still available? Do the Giants move up? Do the Bears move up or move back? I mean, it's wild scenario season. There's a lot of different ways this thing could go, and I thought with this all in mind that we could do a fun little exercise, kind of a different type of mock draft, not just the Bears picks, but a round 1 NFL mock draft with the focus on the top 10 of where I control all the teams. And we kind of go through it. We're like, okay, this Bears are going to take Caleb. This is most likely to happen at 2. What's going to happen at 3? And, do the Bears move up? Do they move down? So if you guys are interested in that, we're probably going to do that soon, kind of a different look at a mock draft for all 32 teams and how it could impact the Bears. So stay tuned for that as we go through that exercise. More draft videos to come. Lock in, subscribe, turn on the notifications. We're going to continue to pepper out videos here on this channel. It's youtube.com/BearsNow.